Hello, everybody out in Placentia Chamberland. I'm Eric Holmgren with Griffin Fencing and Fitness Studio, and today I am at Happy Flow Yoga with Bree Newton. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
It's morning time here. So, Bree, tell me a little bit about your fantastic yoga studio.
Okay, so we opened, we are in the city of Placentia, but we're also in the city of Fullerton too. So we opened this studio 2 years ago. We just celebrated our 2-year birthday party.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then about a year ago, we opened our second yoga studio in Fullerton, which is just down the road that way.
Okay, very good. And what got you into yoga? Is this your first business?
Yes, this is my first business. I've been doing yoga for about 7 years now. I've been graduated from my teacher training for 2 years, or 3 years. So right after I graduated teacher training, I went straight into owning my own studio.
Okay.
I really wanted to change the industry when it came to yoga and helping people and the way that people see yoga. We were talking about earlier pre-interview about the studio and the space itself.
Yeah,
when
it's
you
lovely.
come to a yoga studio, generally it's very dark. It's like dungeony kind of. You can't see inside at all. And so yoga is scary in itself for new people to come to. We're a beginner-based yoga studio. So I wanted the big windows that you can see. I wanted the high ceilings, the bright colors, so that anybody and everybody could come and move their body. And all we want is mobility, strength, stretching for anybody. And so we really wanted to make it accessible for everybody to see what's going on in here. And so that is why I got into owning the studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of had a different vision for presenting yoga and
Yes.
trying to make it, I would say, more user-friendly or
Yes,
more
yeah.
beginner accessible,
Yeah.
as you said.
Generally, when you see yoga on Instagram or when people put yoga in ads, they're touching their foot behind their head and they're dancing and jumping and doing all these crazy things, and that is not the average body.
Yeah,
and so
no,
we
not
wanted
at all. I've done yoga.
Not at all.
Not anything
yes.
near that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. Some days I wake up and I can't even touch my toes, and so
Right.
we wanted a place where you don't have to be a super advanced yoga practitioner to come
Okay.
and just move your body and build some strength.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, usually with these videos, I'm talking with business owners about some challenges they've had, either starting their business or with clients or other situations, and some of their tricks or techniques or things they've done to overcome that. So what's the challenge that you've had as a business owner that you'd like to chat about?
So one of my challenges that I feel like I'm overcoming it as I get older and as I've been in the business for a longer period of time. But it's my age, so I'm 25 years old. I just started telling people how old I am because it is an age, what word am I looking for? Age discrimination.
Discrimination, yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is people not hearing me as an authority and people not taking me very seriously because I was in my early 20s, now I'm in my mid 20s, so I
Right.
can say I'm on my way to 30, which people take more seriously once you get older. But the reason why we opened the yoga studio was because I was in a sales job. I've been in sales since I was 15 years old. I'm an amazing salesperson. Every single job I've been in, I've been the highest seller. So I was born a salesperson. And I found out at my day job, that I was making the least amount of money on my sales team. And when I confronted my boss about it, it was because of my age. So he told me that he could not give me a pay raise because of my age. So definitely age discrimination. And I put my 2 weeks in and signed up for teacher training that day. And I thought that I'm going to own my own business. It's going to go away. But there were a few mistakes that we made along the
Okay.
way. And so in our second yoga studio, our landlord wouldn't respond to my emails, and so I had to respond as my husband, which is why she was a woman too. She wouldn't respond to my emails.
Interesting.
So I don't think it has anything to do with being a woman because
Right.
she would not respond to my emails, but she would respond to his emails. So I
Interesting.
changed my email and I responded from his email so that I could get things done.
Right. If you showed up with a false mustache or something like that, might be a little too much.
Yeah, exactly. And then there were also a few instances where I didn't know which questions to ask because it was my first ever business.
Right.
So this building that we're in actually was zoned as retail.
Okay.
And I had to go through an entire process. I don't know if anybody who's watching this has gone through rezoning, but I had to go through an entire process with the city rezoning, which we didn't expect. So it was $4,000 just for just to go through the city. And that right there got me through a lot, because I had to stand up in front of the entire city of Placentia and basically sell why we should have a studio in Placentia.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So obviously, your problem will be solved over time.
Yes.
But in the meantime, what are some things that you've done to deal with some of the age discrimination or bias that you've experienced?
So I am a very bubbly person, and generally I'm a very bubbly, smiley person. I'm kind of like, I'm always on my toes. So to make myself seem more older and more serious, I've kind of toned down, especially when I'm talking to business professionals, toned myself down. I also wear, not right now because I'm in my yoga clothes, but I also wear much more conservative attire. I dress probably like 10 years older than I am, which is still young in the business age, but I don't dress like I'm going to the mall. I dress like I'm going to a business meeting wherever I go, even if it's very casual. And then I've also toned down my voice. So I've worked a lot with voice and how you sound when you speak and the words that you say. So I've worked on kind of softening my face a lot, more serious, and then taking my level of my voice down so that it's not so high pitched, which has helped. And then I also took a business class that taught me how to write business emails. So I sound a lot more professional via emails than I've found other people at the age of 25 and under sound when they write emails.
So they're probably writing emails or correspondence that is more conversational.
Yes.
And doesn't quite have that professional type of tone.
Yes.
And therefore they might not be taken as seriously as a result.
Yeah.
So a business writing course would be something that would be probably be good for anybody of any age.
Yeah.
But certainly if you're dealing with some other issues. We will actually send our team when we read their emails and we read what they say to us online, we'll actually send them to a business writing course, because it helped me so much when I didn't know what I was talking about when I was sending emails. I was finding that people in my workplace were just reading the first line of my email, and I realized that I was putting everything that I wanted them to hear in the bottom of my email, and the business writing course moved everything to the top of my email. So now every time I send an email, everything I want to be read is read and responded to. Okay.
So yeah, we'll send our employees to go take business writing courses so that they know how to write an email, so that people will actually read it all the way from top to bottom.
Good. Any other advice or any other things that you've done, whether it's related to the age stuff, to kind of help you present yourself better?
I'll just say, and I've kind of been living by this, you're gonna make mistakes, whether it's your first year in business or whether it's your 50th year in business. You're gonna make mistakes, and mistakes are never bad if you can learn from your mistakes. And we've been making mistakes left and right, but we have never made the same mistake twice.
Okay.
So because we are failing, but then we're growing through our failures.
Okay.
So it's more of a lesson that we're learning. So that's, I would say, when you make mistakes, it's not the end of the world. Just get right back up and keep going, as long as you don't make that mistake a second time.
Well, and I think that's a very common theme I've had with all of the business people I've interviewed. Many of them, it's their second or third business, and they might have had one that failed. That was my case, 20 some odd years ago. So knowing that mistakes are normal, just as long as you're learning from it, you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah. And I say it could surprise you, and the second mistake you could be like, oh man, that already happened, but it better not happen a third time.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, very good. Anything else that you want to share with the folks out in Chamberland?
This is a beginner-based yoga studio, and so if you can't touch your toes, come to yoga. I promise. I hear all the time, well, I'm not flexible. I can't touch my toes. I'm not a yogi. And that's the exact reason why we opened Happy Flow Yoga, is because none of us here can touch our toes. Like some mornings I wake up and I can't touch my toes.
Right.
So it's not a scary place. It's very bright, open, welcoming. We're a big family. So come in and try yoga.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.